Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next step. Okay, and by the way, just like you might think, okay, well, we're spending all this time just talking about one word, but not really, because you have to listen to me uh, explain this, and it requires some, effort to do that, and your ability to understand and listen is going to be better. Okay, and that I'm basically speaking to the non-native speakers out there. If you're a native speaker, you already know what innuendo means. All right, so but let's just go through this. Um, so let's go back to this, and all right, so we've got controversial issues and sex. Okay, so as I told you, um, being gay was not accepted uh, until about, let's say, 15 or 20 years ago. And it's sort of, there were other kind of civil rights movements, and people became more uh, tolerant, and it became a kind of a like a civil right, like a racial, like race and gender, and then your sexual identity is your sexual preference kind of followed that. Okay, so uh, but anyway, so before, let's say about 20 years ago, maybe a little longer, there was not any openly gay um, people in the movies, right? And especially back in the 1950s. Um, so they had to use innuendo. Uh, and in fact, there was one like musical artist. His name was Billy Squire, and this was back, I think, in like the early '80s, and he made this music video, and he was actually considered to be like a heterosexual role model, right? But then he got this director to direct this music video, and it destroyed his career because back then it was just totally not accepted. Okay, now I want to go back. I want to go to this movie North by Northwest. We've got Eva Marie Saint, which is that woman I showed you in the last video, and her uh, her main boyfriend, right? Or she's pretending to be his boyfriend. Not Cary Grant, but another guy. Because she's a spy. She's kind of a double spy, right? So her boyfriend has a kind of a partner. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the same woman, Eva Marie Saint, and in the previous video I showed you, she was just, oops, she was sleeping with Cary Grant because she wanted to get him killed, right? These two people are bad guys, okay? And this is supposedly they love each other, but we'll find out that they don't really, right? So, but this guy over here. His name is Leonard, and that's his kind of. This guy here is Leonard's boss, and all throughout this movie, uh, Leonard is really dressed really nice, and he's kind of he's playing the role as a gay character. He doesn't say it, but just the way that he behaves, he's gay, right? And so let me show you something here. I know this is hard to understand for some lower level students, but we'll just have to just bear with me for a while. All right. Okay. So this guy was played by James Mason. He said, I chose to play Leonard as a gay character. No. This was Martin Landau, sorry. It was quite a big risk in cinema at that time. You could just sort of tell by the way that he was acting that he was gay. And my logic was simply that he wanted to get rid of Eva Marie Saint, which is that blonde, with such a vengeance, so it made sense for him to be in love with his boss, which was Van Damme, which is the other guy in the room there, okay? So this guy is gay, right? He loves his boss, I guess. This was a common theme back in the 50s, like for gay men to be like in love with their boss. And if you watch the TV show The Simpsons, Mr. Burns has a guy that works for him who's in love with him too. All right, anyway. So let's go back to this.
I wonder if I might have a few words of parting with you, sir.
Certainly.
In private.
I'll go up and get my things.
Well, Leonard.
So Cary Grant is outside, like, trying to. I think he's trying to rescue her. Maybe. Okay.
I was trying to say goodbye to one's right arm.
My right arm. My right arm means my. I think I did a video called "My Right Hand Man," which is talking about like coming from the Bible. All right, but he's saying my right arm. So this is his main employee, his loyal helper. All right.
In your case, sir, I'm afraid you're going to wish you had cut it off sooner.
Hmm?
I know how terribly fond you are of Miss Kenny. I don't find this a terribly attractive task. She is not to be trusted.
So what he's doing is he's telling his boss that she shouldn't be trusted because she's actually like a double spy, right? This is such a great movie. You got to see it.
It couldn't have been anything. You must have had some doubts about it yourself.
Now he's got a pistol, but this is the same pistol that she used. It's a difficult story, but he said you must have had some doubts about her.
And still do.
Rubbish.
Why else would you have decided not to tell her that our little treasure here has a belly full of microfilm?
Their business is stealing government secrets and selling them.
To be trying to fill a man with rotten apples.
Sometimes the truth does taste like a mouthful of worms.
Truth? I've heard nothing but innuendo.
Now, so by coincidence, he uses the word innuendo. I've heard nothing but innuendo. So he's kind of just suggesting that she's not to be trusted, right? But he's going to prove it later.
Call it my woman's intuition, if you will.
Okay, so if you hear that now, a man would never say that. He said, call it my woman's intuition, if you will. So, you know, he never once says in this movie, I'm gay, right? He never says that. And nobody says you're gay, nothing, right? And he doesn't have any, like, really obvious, how can I say it? Like, you never see him holding hands with a man or anything, right? So it's all done with innuendo, and this is a perfect example. Call it my woman's intuition. I think this froze. It's okay. But the point is, he said, call it my woman's intuition. Women's intuition is obviously something that women have. So we talked about that innuendo is saying something without really saying it, right? So he doesn't announce that he's gay, but we learn that he's gay by him making that comment, my woman's intuition, right? Because women's intuition, I don't know if I've done a video on it or not, but women's intuition is this belief that women have a certain intuition that men don't have. It's probably true. Or sometimes they say mother's intuition, you know, that they know when their child is sick, even if the child doesn't say they're sick, but they know that their child is feeling sad, even though they don't announce it. Okay, but so anyway, Leonard in the movie was gay, but they didn't say it. They didn't say it. It was just innuendo, right? So hang on a second. I'm going to, I want to go search for something, and then I'll finish this video. Okay, I'm back. All right, so I want to show you this video that ruined this musician's career because it was too gay, right? It used only innuendo. Actually, it didn't, but he just acted too gay, and at that time, that was you know, ruined careers. I forgot when it. Hang on a second. 1985. 1985 it was called. I don't know. '84, 1984, and if you watch it, you will definitely see why his audience like abandoned him, right? Because he was assumed to be heterosexual, right? And he made these kind of like macho songs, right? And it when he made this video, people started to think other things about him. All right, it was called "Rock Me Tonight" by Billy Squier, and so there was a lot of innuendo in this one. Okay. hang on a second. How a bad music video ruined an icon's career overnight. I mean, this dude was popular, right, with American young men, right? But this is like, look at this satin and all of this stuff, and like it. So my point is, what is my point? My point is that in the past, especially in the past, they had to use innuendo to communicate a message, right? Because there was just like these social rules, and they still do, all right. But now there's fewer limits. Okay, so all right, I am going to talk to you on the next video.